going on, everybody? Monster Cast Boys are back. Blind-Brik Productions is here.
Rick and Brandon, talking about the Mandela Effect. Sorry we've had such an absence, everybody.
We've been putting something to work that's going to mean a lot to us. If you follow us on Twitter, you know that we put out something to try to purchase a location called Fanboys Cafe. I am happy to inform everybody that Fanboys Cafe has been purchased. We are opening it up soon, so we are going to have a brick and mortar location as well as the ability to record more often and with better quality.
Should be good for everybody. Plus, if you're ever in the area of our store, you can stop in, see us, eat some good food.
Horseheads, New York. Drop us a line if you know where we're at. All right. So, with that news out of the way, we are once again talking about the Mandela Effect.
All right, guys, what we're going to do here, we all know the Mandela Effect is long. There's a lot of things to talk about. First off, we're only going to talk about things that affect us personally. And I know we both have been hit by a lot of the effects. And second, we're going to hit 2, maybe 3 per video. We're going to try to start recording more. Now that we've got the cafe out of the way, that shouldn't be as big of an issue. So if you're not getting one at least once a week, yell at us. There's a problem. We'll get on it.
All right, this video, we are kind of focusing on... we've got 2 of them coming this week. One is the location of Earth, as we remember it and as it is in this current.
And the other one is...
kind of a touch-up on the Star Wars Luke, I am your father, no, I am your father, Luke, no, I am your father debate.
And then the thinker. What is he thinking?
What is he thinking about? Do you remember what he looks like?
Yeah, let's ask you that now. Just don't look it up. Just try to remember what he looks like. Do the pose. Think about it. Because that's what I did. And I came up with the pose that I remembered. And I was wrong.
Alright, I am going to start us off at the Luke, I am your father. We're bringing up YouTube, 2005, Hallmark Darth Vader Ornament, Dr. Lalaberti.
Now, and just to put this in perspective, we did talk about how the famous line, Luke, I am your father, has changed to No, I am your father. You've all heard this 100 times. You're bored to death of it. But we've got here, what we think is probably the best proof that he did in fact say, Luke, I am your father. I mean, this is a Star Wars Lucasfilms licensed product by Hallmark with James Earl Jones' voice from the movies.
It's pretty crazy. We will drop a link in the description. I know our last video, I didn't get the links in there. We got that figured out.
We've got them ready to go already.
So we are going to start with this. Just pay attention to what this ornament says.
Luke, I am your father. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Okay, so let's bring that back. Okay, so if you heard it clearly there, it says what we all, at least those of us that have experienced this, remember what it says. It said clear as day, Luke, I am your father.
That was clear as day. I mean, the I am your father was exactly as you'll still hear in the movie. The Luke was the only difference, but it was James Earl's voice, and he was quite obviously reading from a script, doing the movie lines.
So if the original line, damn it, if the original line that we remember from the movie, we see in the movie now is no, I am your father, why is this ornament, which is obviously...
I mean, it's Hallmark
licensed
and Lucasfilms. What are the chances they screwed up one of the most iconic lines on their Christmas ornament? They were close to 0.
Yeah, I mean,
there's always a chance. You've got to take everything with a grain of salt anymore.
Maybe George Lucas did get a hold of it, like he got a hold of the old movies and messed them up and put things there that didn't belong there.
I mean, we could go all day on Star Wars. I've actually seen a lot of other stuff that's wrong with the movie now. And I mean the original movie, not the special editions, because we could go into a lot of detail there. But this isn't a nerd cast. It's a monster cast, so we're not going to do that.
That reminds me, we will be having other shows coming soon. So be on the lookout of that. We're going to start them here on this channel. Okay, so we just touched on that.
We just wanted to get that out of the way, let you guys hear, especially for those of you that don't experience the Mandela Effect, or those of you that think it's bull. Well, there was our memory from the reality we remember. Whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter. It
kind of goes to show that we're not completely bat poop crazy. Also, heard they're cracking down on language, so I'm gonna try to keep my mouth shut a little more. All right, on to the next.
All right, so let's talk about well, let's do the thinker last, because we wanted them to think about that. All right, guys. Now, this is going to be a tough one, because not everybody knows this. It wasn't common knowledge to begin with. But how many of you remember where Earth is in relation to the Milky Way galaxy? And I want you to think about that.
And here we have the different arms. It's not the greatest picture of the galaxy, but here's our Milky Way. This is where we live, somewhere in this mass of stars and planets. And
it's a simple galactic map anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you've all had a minute to think about it. I remember us, and I remember this for a lot of reasons, not only being taught this, but countless pictures saying you are here, and astronomers talking about it. But I personally remember us living on the outer edge of the Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way galaxy, which I believe Rick is pointing to right now.
I don't think you can see it on our recording, but if you look where it says CARINA, Sagittarius arm, you follow that out to near the edge, a little bit before you get to where it says Crux, Scutum arm on the other one, and that's about where you'll be.
Now, that's where we remember it. Let's see how Carl Sagan and Neil deGrasse Tyson remember it. Shall we?
We shall. Okay. So, let's get rid of this little...
Now this is interesting, guys, because we're going to show you where they remember it. We told you where we remember it. Now just listen carefully here.
Okay.
This video we could probably play a little more of because there's some information in it.
Alright, so this is Carl Sagan remembers the Sagittarius arm.
Little place like that. And the Milky Way would be this band of light, 100 billion stars all together. The fact that we live in the outskirts of the galaxy,
Alright, well,
and he does say in a little while Sagittarius arm. That's what we need to get up to.
Right here, this is where it's showing us we're at, which is about the location that I showed you on that image.
As best we could on that drawing of a galactic map.
Yeah.
The fact that we live in the outskirts of the galaxy, no. We would be way out here,
See how far out?
Alright. So, if that's the case, where do you think we are? Because one thing's telling us one thing, and the other is telling us the other.
Well, we haven't even gotten to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Alright.
Alright, we're going to go... I skipped ahead in this video. Again, the link will be in. The video is called Mandela Effect. Carl Sagan remembers the Sagittarius arm, CARINA CYGNUS spiral arm, and it is posted by Stoned Rapper PhD. Okay. Alright, I think the other one we have is by the same guy, so...
our own Milky Way, seen from the outside. This is the home galaxy. species. In the obscure backwaters of the CARINA Cygnus spiral arm, we humans have evolved of the CARINA Cygnus spiral arm. Of the CARINA Cygnus spiral arm.
All right.
You guys heard that, the CARINA Cygnus spiral arm. Now, before you go, wait, you guys just said Sagittarius arm. Look at your galactic maps, do your research. The CARINA Cygnus is the Sagittarius arm. So that's Carl Sagan telling us that we live on the outskirts of the Milky Way galaxy on the Sagittarius arm, right where I remember us living, right where Rick remembers us living.
All right. So.
But let's listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He is very well respected. He should know where we're at in the galaxy, right?
And, yeah, this is Mandela Effect. Neil deGrasse Tyson remembers the Sagittarius arm, stoned rapper, PhD. Once again, we'll link to the video in the description. Let's see what Neil has to say.
Welcome back to Darth from Manhattan, New York City, North America, Western Hemisphere, Earth, Solar System, Sagittarius arm, Milky Way galaxy, Sagittarius arm, Milky Way galaxy.
Now, in case you guys didn't follow what was happening there, I'll explain that first. All right, he's filming a show in New York City. So he says Manhattan, New York City, Northern Hemisphere, you know, the solar system, Sagittarius arm, Milky Way galaxy. He was listing exactly where he was doing that show from. He also listed us living in the Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Weird. Because, I'll tell you what, guys, we don't live on the Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way galaxy. As a matter of fact, if you look at charts, if you read your astronomy, if you do your research, that memory is completely false. We've never lived there. I'd like to say it's changed, but it's kind of come to my attention that it's changed for us, yes. But saying that it's changed is kind of misleading, because in this reality, timeline, world, whatever you want to call it, I don't care what you call it, in this place that we're at now, it's always been the Orion Spur in the Milky Way galaxy, which, by the way, is an 80,000 light year difference from where Carl Sagan, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I all remember us living, and it's on the other side of the galactic center. So let's say that other Earth was still out there right now, and they were trying to see this Earth. It wouldn't be possible because the galactic center's in the way. You can't see past the galactic center. It doesn't matter how powerful your telescope is. Excuse me. I've been fighting off a cold for a little while here.
I'm messing with stuff. I'm sorry, guys.
So, alright, anyway, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Carl Sagan. If you're going to trust any two astronomers with bringing you the facts, I would guess that those two would be right up there on the list for everybody. They're super well respected. They're very intelligent men. I would never question their intelligence. But just like me, there they are, recorded on video, saying we live the outer edge of the Sagittarius arm. We don't even live close to the outer edge of the Sagittarius arm.
If you look at it again, in the
Yeah,
picture I
bring that up.
And you see where it says sun. Apparently, we are now in this Orion Spur.
See, now, if you follow that Sagittarius arm out past the galactic center, you can see that we were all the way on the edge. Now we're about 2/3 of the way in towards the center, on the exact opposite side of the galaxy. Like I said, the difference is roughly 80,000 light years. That's a lot. 80,000 light years. And to us, we went to sleep one day and we were there. We woke up one day and we were here.
I mean, and if you make a trail all the way from where it says Orion Spur across, you end up at about where I said we would be. It's exactly...
It's almost vertical from it. It's a straight line. Linear distance is 80,000 light years.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's real interesting. And you got to think, you can't see through the center of our galaxy.
You can't see through the corona, the event horizon, whatever's there in the center.
Yeah. So that would mean that if there is something over on that other arm, the reality that we supposedly come from, whatever you believe, then we wouldn't be able to see it through the center of the galaxy.
Which, like I said, means let's say this is a two Earth thing. Let's say those two Earths don't exist in parallel dimensions, but rather in parallel parts of the same galaxy in the same universe. Even if that were the case, and everything we know and remember is right there, we'd never be able to see it again, because it's still in a part of the galaxy that with our technology we just can't see.
Yeah.
Which is kind of disappointing to
Oh.
find the old Earth and not be able to see it.
I mean, and I'm sitting here, we're talking about this, and all I can think about is comic books. Earth 2, Earth 1, DC,
Well, we're
Crisis
from
on
Earth Prime, but
Crisis on Infinite Earth. You know what I mean?
I do,
mean,
because
it
I
sou-
think about it all the
It
time.
sounds a little far-fetched, but you never know.
I don't think, actually, it doesn't sound far-fetched at all. For those of you that think that this is all crazy talk, time travel, parallel worlds, the multiverse, just look into quantum physics, because the going theories say that that stuff is probably closer to the truth than what we believe now. And I personally believe with the Mandela Effect, I mean, it's got to prove at least some of it. There's some residue leaking or something. I mean, I do have a theory, but like we've said before, I can't talk about that till we finally get through these videos.
We'll do a theory video for Brandon specifically. I don't know what I think yet. All right, we've got one more here before we cut it off for the day. And we asked you how you remember the thinker.
Now, before we...
The sculpture.
Yeah, the famous statue. Before we bring up the thinker, I just want to say, when I heard the same question, and this was brought to my attention from Esoteric Detective. Ed over there does good videos. Check him out. But he asked the same question, and I immediately started thinking about it, which is ironic, thinking about the thinker. But I put my elbow on my knee, and I put my fist to my forehead and put my forehead down and started thinking about it. And I was like, oh, duh. That's how he was positioned. Fist to the forehead. Rick didn't know about this effect till tonight, until I said, hey, how do you remember the thinker?
And it wasn't exactly what I remember.
It's not even close.
Here's what is being pulled up, actual image of the thinker. There we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Now you see his...
Open hand on the chin.
Open hand under the chin.
Yeah.
Almost like he's looking down in thought now. Whereas before he had his eyes closed. Yes, his head was still facing down.
But his fist was right in here.
And here's the interesting part about the thinker now. Some people are calling this the smoking gun. I have to say that I might agree. There's so much residual evidence of the thinker. It'd be hard to deny the fact that it did in fact change. Just start looking up art books. There's entire books on Rodin, who is the artist that sculpted the thinker. His books describe the thinker as closed fist to the forehead, head down. Most of the art books describe the thinker as closed fist to the forehead, head down. There's a photograph from 1906 of a gentleman posing for the thinker. Closed fist, fist to his forehead, head down. It's just, I mean, come on, guys, think about that. I know some people think that we're crazy for even believing this stuff or remembering these things. First off, you can't be crazy for remembering something. That's your memory. That's how you remember it. You can't help that.
I mean, I'm about to bring it up.
Yeah, he's gonna bring up the photograph of the man posing for the thinker.
I mean, and that's how we remember.
That's how I remember the statue. That's how Rick remembers the statue. That's how the art books remember the statue. And I mean, I want you guys to really think about that. Wrap your head around that. The art books describing this statue describe what you're seeing in the photograph on the screen right now. Yet the statue doesn't look a thing like that.
Yeah. It's like, why would that? And that's the same with the
same.
Luke, I am your father aspect. Why would people remember such a...
Or the Sagittarius arm even.
Why are people remembering this stuff and it's not real? Supposedly.
Well, but what is real? What is reality? I think that's what you have to start to question when you start talking about these effects.
And we're going to leave you with what is reality.
What is real? What is reality?
Have you noticed any Mandela effects in your personal lives?
I have some personal ones to talk about.
Have you noticed ones famously that we haven't caught? Leave a comment and we'll get to it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our page. We thank you all so much. Again, sorry we've been gone so long.
You'll hear from us soon.
We have a lot more going on than...
We would probably... you'll probably see some videos of the store before too long because we want to show off.
Yep.
We want you guys to check out our brick and mortar location.
And we'll be having newer, different shows on different topics, covering things like comic books, movies, wrestling, stuff like that. We're just gonna...
You'll see a less... Not that we're always 100% serious now, but you'll see a much less serious, much more fun